Breaking up my engagement because of what my fiancé said about my mom. I am 26 female, I'm not from the USA. So my dad left my mom and me when I was only 5 years old. I also have a brother 21. He left the country with his mistress and never tried to contact her. We were really poor. My mom had to do some immoral stuff to get food on the table. She was a stripper and also sometimes pleased men to get money for us. She put me and my brother through school. I understood why my mom did what she did because we had no money and she wanted us to have a life better than ours, and I am not ashamed because of it. I also started working part-time when I was 14. I was a good student, so I got a scholarship to a good university. My mom eventually stopped stripping when my brother got a part-time job too. She now only works as a waitress. I met my fiancé Javi, 27, in college. This was my first serious relationship. We both loved each other. I never told Javi about my mom's past because my mom made me promise to never say that to anyone. I kept that. But it felt so wrong to keep this huge information away from my fiancé. Javi knew about us. He only knew that my family was extremely poor. He doesn't care about that. He is a very sweet guy who always takes care of me. He even covered some of the cost of my brother's education as well, even though I told him not to. My mom also likes him. That's why she told me not to tell Javi anything about her past or what she did for a living. So a week ago, my mom and I went to Javi's house to meet his parents. I didn't realize his uncle and aunt would also be there. Upon seeing his uncle, my mom's face went white as if she saw a ghost. His uncle also kept staring at my mom as if he knew her. My mom felt uncomfortable and said that she wanted to go home. Javi was confused by it, but nonetheless, we left earlier than we anticipated. The next day, my fiancé came to our place and shouted at me that I lied to him. He said that I was a gold digger just like my mother, and my mother was the reason why his uncle's first marriage broke. I asked him to explain what the hell he was talking about. He said that his uncle knew my mom because he was a regular customer of hers and often hired her for her services. His wife caught them red-handed and immediately filed for divorce. My mom was crying and said that she didn't know he was married. She never asked men about their marital status. I told him that he had no right to speak to my mom like that, and his uncle was fully to blame because he was a married man who was hiring escorts for himself. My mom has no obligation toward his marriage. Javi still blamed me and mom and said that he felt deceived. He said to my face that he doesn't want to date a whore's daughter because I will probably invite men just like my mom. My mom had to beg him to not break the engagement. I am tired. If I do end up marrying him, my mom would always have to suffer because of it. I didn't want that. So I gave him back his engagement ring and told him to never show his face. My mom is angry because she thinks this is my only chance to get married because no other guy would marry into a family where the mom works as an intimacy worker. But I think I did the right thing because I'm not ashamed of my mom. I didn't even want to hide it in the first place. I wanted to tell him the truth, but my mom refused it. So am I the a-hole? I need to clear things out of it. Javi knows everything about my life. He knows my dad fled the country and we had to live in poverty because of it. He knows my mom got pregnant way too young. I did give him hints that my mom had to do shady things to get by. He probably thought my mom stole things, but I didn't disclose that. She was an intimacy worker. I wanted to tell him, but my mom said not to because she didn't want this to escalate. Also, I never asked Javi to pay for my brother's education. He did it from the goodwill of his heart. I promised to pay him back. I am not after his money. I do love him a lot. Even though we are broken up now, I still miss him. We have been together for 6 years. It is not easy to throw away those 6 years just like that.